Out of all of the films I've seen recently, I keep thinking about La Chimera. I think I fell in love with this film. And yeah, other films have come out this year which are better films, and even some which I prefer, but this one had such a strange effect on me. Part of the reason for this, and my initial draw to watch this film, is the lead actor Josh O'Connor. I first found out who he was from Challenges, but I've been doing some digging into his earlier projects. He has such an on-screen presence in both this and Challenges. His character in La Chimera is quite withdrawn and guarded. We meet him first on the train as we learn that he was recently released from jail. The coldness of his character is a crux of the film as we learn a bit about his past, and as the film finishes, it all came full circle. I finally understood the character. For most of this film, his character was an enigma to me. There were hints and clues throughout, but the ending made everything clear and it all clicked. I think it is a film about grief and the person you become after loss, and this is why I connected with it so much. His reserved nature is a result of losing his wife. Throughout the film, he spirals, committing robbery after robbery, and it takes another person for him to recognize who he has become. It takes Italia, a woman who he forms a connection with, to get him out of the grave of immorality that he has dug for himself. The people he surrounds himself with push him to be this person. His friends, who later reject him after he throws the head of the statue they stole in the ocean. This is him realizing the right thing to do, listening to Italia, embracing the light and rejecting the allure of greed. I would like to talk about the ending of the film and what I viewed it to mean. The ending happens as he enters one last tomb. The entrance closes up. I think he eventually dies here. He looks up and sees the red string from earlier on in the film. We flash to his wife. I think this was him connecting back with her and joining her in death, accepting her death, something which he struggled to do throughout the film. The final moment is about acceptance. He dies as a result of the person he became after her death. He died because of his obsessive interest into the past. Arthur clearly has a connection to the past. For a start, he digs tombs from the Etruscan era, a time and people thought to be fun-loving and romantic. And then there's his wife, who now only exists in his memory and in the past. He longs to be in a different time, a more romantic time. And Italia in the film represents moving forward. She builds a kind of commune from an abandoned building and is raising her family there. Arthur is accepted and welcomed there, but he can't move on from the past. Through death is the only way that he can move forward. I don't think the ending is necessarily a sad ending. I do think it's tragic in a few aspects, but the fact that he dies is a relief for him. The white suit worn by Arthur is reminiscent to that of a ghost. A ghost is the soul or spirit of a deceased person, usually considered to exist due to unfinished business. I think this is important because I believe Arthur had died emotionally. I believe that Arthur in the film exists to die. That is his business. And as the film continues, the suit gets more and more worn down and dirty. He's becoming unable to keep this form, and so he must truly die. It's his fate or his destiny to die. The magical realist element of this film helps with the representation of Arthur. There's this magical aura that surrounds him. I don't think he's a literal ghost, but a metaphorical one. And I do think he has a connection to the other side, if you will. That's how he can sense the tombs. So, the way I view this film is one about the person you become after tragedy, how it's hard or even impossible to be the same person. You become a ghost of who you once were, living only to serve unfinished business. That business ultimately being death. Pretty dark for a fairly light-hearted film, but that was just my reading of La Chimera. Tell me what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching. That's it for now, I guess. Bye.